Hello everyone, my name is Gabby, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super review. This time we're reviewing episode 20. Frieza is back to life, and he wants revenge on those who defeated him. While he realizes that Goku has gotten a lot stronger, at the same time, Frieza explains that he's never had to train in his entire life. He was just born gifted. So if he trains for the first time, full out for 4 months, it should be enough for him to catch up to Goku. And then, 4 months later, a mysterious being comes out of a spaceship, demanding to speak to Bulma. It's Jaco, the Galactic Patrolman in charge of Earth. Read his manga. He explains to Bulma that Frieza has been revived, and he's coming to Earth with 1,000 soldiers. Bulma quickly contacts everyone while trying to get Whis' attention the only way she knows how, with the promise of food. Krillin, Muten Roshi, Ten Shinhan, Gohan, and Piccolo all show up to face Frieza and his 1,000 soldiers. Do they stand a chance? So, what did I like about this episode? Once again, it really comes down to the things I liked were the few deviations from Resurrection F, because this episode was quite similar to the events of Resurrection F, and at some points I felt like they were, at least if not doing the shot-for-shot remake, they were pretty much using the same lines of dialogue at some points. So the things they did change, one thing, they removed the stupid line in the original Resurrection F where Frieza says he can get his battle power to 1.3 million, where even if you just read the Frieza saga once, you'd realize that made absolutely no sense. And the other major deviation they did from Resurrection F was they included a scene with Goten and Trunks and Jaco. And what I liked about this scene is they gave a legitimate reason as to why Goten and Trunks weren't actually fighting Frieza's soldiers and then the resurrected Frieza. And that was because Goten and Trunks were just too busy playing around in Jaco's spaceship and didn't actually hear Jaco explaining to Bulma about the incoming threat. That's the kind of thing I really wanted to see from a retelling, to actually try and sort of cover up some of your plot holes, and that's one scene that actually did that. And of course, we were introduced to like my new favorite character in Dragon Ball, and that is Jaco. I bet people are wondering, why do I like Jaco so much? And I think that's just because he's got this very different perspective, and he's very different compared to everyone else. Like, first of all, he's basically a newcomer, just coming into the series and just realizing how ridiculous the world is, and I've just always liked those characters. Like, someone like, say, Videl in the beginning of, like, Great Saiyaman stuff. Like, I just really like seeing, like, these newcomers just sort of coming in, just looking at the Dragon Ball world, just being like, whoa, this is really weird, there's superpowered aliens, you know, everything like that. And then there's the fact that Jaco, he's kind of really sort of realistic in that he has a very good sense of self-preservation, I'll say. Some people might say that he's sort of a coward, but I'm just gonna say he has a sense of self-preservation, and I think that's kind of amazing. It's very different from all the other characters in Dragon Ball up until now. As for what I didn't like about this episode, it was basically the stupid things in Resurrection F that they still left in Super, like Krillin telling 18 that she needs to stay home and look after Marin, even though 18 is a lot stronger than Krillin, and it would make more sense if things went the other way around. I'm not going to say sexism, but it's still complete bullshit that they're leaving 18 behind, that she has to stay behind and look after the kid, while Krillin, who's much weaker, is the one who's fighting. I still have a problem with that. And to be completely honest, this episode just made me realize, what's the point of them retelling Resurrection F? Battle of Gods, at least I understand, because they introduced a whole bunch of concepts that you would have to expect to know when the Universe 6 and all the new material starts coming up. But Resurrection F? What happens in that? There's really no consequences for everything that happens in Resurrection F. There's no real change in the status quo. The only things that we really get introduced to was like Super Saiyan Blue, but as we've seen from this episode, Super Saiyan Blue is still probably going to be seen the first time, is going to be like obtained the first time off screen. So why are we even doing this? So Dragon Ball Super episode 20, once again, did not deviate that much from the source material. I know some people were expecting to see Frieza's training, and they were quite disappointed that that didn't end up happening, but, well, first of all, maybe it's a little too early to completely know. We might get in flashbacks later on. And second of all, I didn't have so much of a problem with the whole Frieza getting stronger in 4 months thing, just because I felt like it did sort of make sense in terms of his character, and in the end, he doesn't actually win, spoilers, so I don't know. So next episode, we're going to get the fights between the humans and the humans, Piccolo and Gohan, and 1,000 Frieza soldiers. I'm very curious as to what they're going to do with this because, well, this section of the story is pretty much just sort of fan service for the humans because as we've seen from some of the leaks for what's going to happen later on, none of the humans seem like they're going to be contributing much later on, especially like, people like Muten Roshi and Ten Shinhan are not going to be doing anything, so this is going to be like one of the few times in Super we're probably ever going to see them do anything. So I'm curious about that. I'm also curious about sort of the power levels, just sort of whether they're going to nerf certain characters, because that's kind of what they did in Resurrection F, and that was very annoying, and I hope they don't do that. And if they do that, for someone, especially Gohan, I am going to rant. I think I'm actually going to rant because it will be very annoying. And I'll explain why then, if that happens. So yeah, Dragon Ball Super Episode 20 did not have that much to talk about because once again, it's just retelling the movie and there is not that much new stuff there. I mean, I could nitpick a bit about every minute detail, but I'm sure people have nitpicked about this when they were talking about Resurrection F. That's why looking into this for so in depth almost makes no sense because this is something we've done before. But either way, they're going through Resurrection F really quickly, and I think that's sort of good because I mean, the quicker we go through Resurrection F, the quicker we get to the stuff that's Super was actually made for, and that's, the new material. I mean, it'll still be quite a few weeks to go, but at least we're not spending 5 episodes of just like waiting for Frieza to come back in from training, because I feel like even though everyone says they want to see Frieza training, I think they would say it would start getting too slow paced at that point. So this is Gabby signing out, and I'll see you all next week. Bye guys!